All right, so we've been talking about factoring to solve quadratics. Today's activity is all about when your a value is greater than 1. So when you have a number out here in front of your x squared and how to handle that. And we went over this yesterday, but just to reiterate that, or if you don't remember, weren't here yesterday. So I'm going to look at number 1. So we have 2x squared plus 3x minus 9. So I'm just going to write that here. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a times c, which gives us 18. So now that's the number that we're going to try to find factors of. So we have factors of 18 that are going to subtract to give us the middle number, which is 3. The reason it's subtract is because this minus sign here. So factors of 18 that subtract to give us 3. So 18 times 1, 2 times 9, and 3 times 6. So when I look at this, 3 and 6 subtract and they'll give me 3. So open up 2 sets of parentheses. X goes first. This is the pair of factors that's going to work. So I'm going to put the bigger factor first. So 6 and 3. The first sign comes straight down, so that's plus. The second sign is a minus, so these have to be opposites. So this is minus. Now, normally from here we would just say x equals and x equals. We would just solve. However, we had to get some help from our a value because there are no factors of 9. If I just took my c value, factors of 9 that subtract to give me 3, that's not possible. So I got some help from my a value. Well, we multiplied to put a in, and if I want to take a out, then I'm going to divide it out. So we're going to divide by our a value, divide by our a value. So now I have x plus 3. This does not simplify, so I'm going to leave it as x minus 3 over 2. Now, if we were factoring, not solving, but just factoring, then we would take this one and we would pull the denominator ahead to get 2x minus 3. But because we are not just factoring, we're actually solving, we don't have to do this part. All right, so then from here, so this whole equation equals 0, so that means this has to equal 0 or this has to equal 0. So our shortcut that we developed was that we just flip the sign to solve. So if this is a positive 3, I flip it and it becomes a negative 3. Here, this is a negative 3 over 2, so I flip it, it becomes a positive 3 over 2. So then on your sheet, you're going to look over on this side and you're trying to find the solutions with negative 3 and 3 over 2, okay? Now, the order of these does not matter. So if it's a different order on the worksheet, that's not a problem. So if they're a different order, it's no big deal. All right, so that was number 1. All right, let's jump down to number 12. Okay, I'm jumping down to number 12 on the sheet, so right here. So we have 10x squared plus 29x plus 10 equals 0. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. A times c gives me 100. So factors of 100. So I'm going to write out my factors that I know of 100. And then 10 and 10. All right, so I need factors of 100 that add to give me 29. So I see this right here. Those add to give me 29. So open up 2 sets of parentheses. X goes first. The bigger factor always goes first. Bring this sign straight down. Second sign is a plus, so these have to match. So this is going to be plus. And then I have to divide by my a value. So divide by 10 and divide by 10. Now, neither one of these divides evenly, and that's okay. We're going to simplify them. So 25 over 10, I can divide both of those numbers by 5. So then I would have 5 over 2. Here, 4 over 10. To simplify that, I can divide both those numbers by 2. So I get 2/5. And then to write my answer, I'm just going to flip the sign. So negative 5 over 2 and negative 2 over 5. And those are your 2 solutions for number 12. And then again, you would go over here to this part and find those 2 solutions and mark that out. And then in the end, you're going to have 1 person left, 1 weapon left, and 1 location left. And you'll write those in here, and that will be who did it. All right, excuse me. Let's look at one other one, number 17. So number 17, we have 10x squared minus 11x minus 6 equals 0. So once again, I'm going to take my a times c, gives me 60, factors of 60, has a bunch, all right, and we need factors of 60 that subtract to give me 11. So I have 15 and 4. So 15 goes in the first set, 4 goes in the second. First sign is a minus, so that comes down. Second sign is a minus, so that means these two have to be opposites. So this is plus. And then divide by our a value. Remember, we always divide by whatever our a is. So now I have x minus 5 over, I'm sorry, that should be 3 over 2, sorry. 3 over 2. And this one's going to simplify to x equals 2 over 5. And then we're going to flip the sign, so I get x equals 3 over 2 and x equals negative 2/5. All right? Okay, so again, you would go to your paper and then find where that was on here and cross that out. All right, if you have other questions, message me on Schoology or ask another student, ask someone that you're sitting near for a little help. In order to do this assignment, you have to show all of your work. It can either be on the back of the paper or there's a grids on the back, so you can do one in each spot, or a separate sheet of paper. This is due tomorrow at the beginning of class if you don't finish it today in class. If you have questions, let me know.